Okay, so, that happened. No, I didn't cancel the video or anything like that, I'm pretty sure you guys noticed, because you would have seen in the video the thing pop up for me to have to close it off. No, I don't have any other way of doing that, personally. Other than maybe flipping the fucking headset up, and that will automatically turn off the filming, but I had it still on. So, VRChat with Questies is a fucking cunt. And if you apparently get too much lag with the headset, where sometimes like with the VR headset, if there's too much lag, you literally can't open your meta menu no more. And apparently when that happens, you no longer get to record no more either. So, yeah, it just automatically turns off any form of recording you were doing. So I had to completely restart the headset for me to be able to record again. Apologies for that. Before I go back, I'm gonna explain properly this time of what I was talking about, before I got so rudely cut off by being a questie. With people on here, they treat this as a game. Let me be very clear, this is not a game. This is a social platform. That's what it is. Yes, it has game worlds in it you can play, but VRChat itself is not a game. It is a social platforming tool. Just like Facebook and Tumblr and Twitter, it is a social platform. It's just a bit different because it's in VR. That is it. These are still real people with real fucking feelings that you're talking to. They are not goddamn NPCs. And what you do has consequences to their emotional, mental, and physical state. And yes, I said physical, because there is a thing called phantom pain. And when somebody gets so immersed into the app that when they move their hand, their immersion is high enough that they can see this as their hand moving. Especially if you're full body, they can get it a lot worse, because they are literally watching their body move almost perfectly to the way that they're actually moving it. So keep that in mind. And I'm not even saying PC players can't get it, because they can. It really depends on your level of immersion. PC players that roleplay, for instance, and get very deep into what they're doing with their character, can form a form of immersion with VRChat. Because they have to think as their character, they have to put a piece of themselves into it, so it makes their brain get tricked and see this as reality for that period that they are on here while they are role playing. And after a while, that shit gets transferred over to where they kind of just can't break out of the immersion in general. Not that they can't break out of a character, just the immersive state of the environment. And there's different levels of phantom sense. picture it like those people that have their arm chopped off, or they lose a leg, and then they can still feel it. The arm isn't there, the leg's not there, but they can still feel it when they move their stub. Their brain is still able to process the arm being there and that they're moving it around even though it's not there no more. There was a test done where there was a guy had a hand, his real hand on one side and a rubber hand on the other, but they had them set up in a way where it tricked his brain into seeing the rubber hand as his hand, and then when they stabbed the rubber hand, it hurt, and he pulled back. It's that type of shit. As long as your brain can see something and trick itself to believe, not you, but itself to believe that what around you is factual to some varying degree, it will gain that shit. So there is phantom touch, which is basically if you touch something, you can feel something under your fingertips. Or like you hold something and you can feel the weight of it in your hand, or feel, basically stuff reacting around touching or holding something. There's also the opposite end where you can feel other people touching you. There is phantom taste, where you can taste virtual food if your brain either has an idea of what this tastes like or makes its own idea of what it should taste like based off of the appearance of it. Sound is also a big key factor in phantom senses. I don't particularly have phantom taste that actually lasts. It activated a couple times, but it's very rare for me. It kind of turns off and on, and like I said, it's only happened a few times. So, same thing with phantom smell. I don't really, it doesn't stick, but phantom smell, basically, like, if you know what something smells like or what it should smell like, or your brain perceives an idea of what it should smell like, you can smell something on here. Which is why I've had people say I smell a bunch of different ways. So take that however the fuck you want. It's how people perceive my scent. I don't think there's been one single person that has agreed on what I smell like. But it's usually always something either flowery or sweet. Phantom pain, which is my biggest worry, because phantom pain, it's not something you want. It's one of those senses you don't want, but it usually fucking happens regardless, because it's one of the senses that is the most prominent for people to get. Because people on here like to stab you and shoot you and blow you up and all kinds of stuff with their avatars. So you're getting attacked constantly. And that's part of the problem, is depending on what you're doing, depending on what people around you do to you the most frequently, tends to adhere to the brain getting enough practice with that to where it can develop that sense. So if people are constantly touching you and shit like that, phantom touch is pretty easy enough to get. That one and phantom pain are like the top two that are the easiest to get from what I've seen. And that's because on here, friends are one thing, but strangers will even come up and just pet you on the head or give you a hug or hit you or stab you or grope you. People are not respectful of boundaries a lot of the time, and they see personal space as so let me see if I can make a point here. This is what they think personal space is. You tell people, hey, can I get some personal space, please? They tell you, we'll turn it on then. It's just a fucking button to them. They don't actually adhere to personal space and boundaries on here a lot of the time. And then they tell you that you're the idiot because you don't turn your personal space on. You know what personal space does? It makes it where if people get too close to you, they become fucking invisible. Now, back in the day, this actually used to not only make random people not on your friends list invisible, it would make your friends invisible too, so your friends couldn't even get close to you. Honestly, I would prefer it if you could do selective personal space when it comes to that type of thing, because sometimes I meet a nice person, sometimes there's a random stranger that's actually nice, and we having a good time and can talk and shit, and I don't mind if they give me a pet on the head. But you know what? If they try and get anywhere near me to actually give me a pet on the head, anywhere within the distance enough to where you can touch somebody, they go bye-bye, so I never see the head pat. And with phantom sense, you need to see it for your brain to process it, for you to feel it. So it's a double-edged sword. So I don't turn it on in case I do meet somebody that is actually nice, or for us, we don't friend somebody immediately. So if we meet somebody nice, we're not going to automatically friend them just because they were nice to us one time. We want to get to know them and take a while to meet them multiple times so we can see if they are trustworthy enough and not just gonna treat us like a fucking number. Because people on here will do that. They'll add you because they hit it off with you, but then never fucking talk to you again. Or they'll pretend to be nice when they first meet you, but then when you get them on your friends list, they show their real colors, and then you're fucking traumatized. So it's you gotta be careful on here. It's people on here, the majority of them are not nice. They treat people like NPCs. They don't have any respect at all. And like what you saw earlier, the guy got right up in my fucking face. He didn't ask if he could get closer, or ask if I could, like, tilt my head up or something so he could see my eyes better. No, he got in my face. And then the one before that ran straight through me, which hurt. Fucking inside still hurt from that. And yes, it doesn't matter if you felt this pain before from somebody running through you. That's not what matters. What matters is how the brain perceives what the pain should feel like. And that's another thing a lot of people don't understand, is it's not whether or not you've had this happen to you before, for your brain to process it. It's whether or not the brain is going to process a concept of what it should feel like. And if your brain can do that, then, well, fuck you. Because for us, it feels like being stabbed, and like a stab in pain, like just a sudden stab in pain mixed with what it feels like to have the wind knocked out of you. So, apologies, I have to check my phone every once in a while. So at the end of the day, it's complicated, and it's very not fun when it comes down to that. But there really isn't anything that I can do about it, because honestly, you either will get a nice person that tells you that when you tell them that you have phantom pain, that will back off, or there are people that will abuse it and become more aggressive the moment you tell them. So it's a gamble to even give people a warning that, hey, I have phantom pain, could you please not do that? Because people here, they really don't respect boundaries. They don't respect you saying, please don't do something, and then they just don't do it. They are very abusive here, and unfortunately, this platform is the only thing that we have to have any form of social interaction due to Multi's fear of people. So there's really nothing. It's really, really sucky. But the only good thing is, well, the good aspects of VRChat are, for us alters can actually take on a body that looks at least somewhat like us. And like I told that person, I'm a Frisk, but I just don't look like one because I don't have a proper avatar that represents me. This is as close as I can get to looking like myself. And it's really, really close. It's just my eyes are brown, for one. Unless my DT flares up and then they turn red. My skin is caramel, like a golden caramel color. Not like yellow, like classic Frisk from the game, but caramel. Like a hang on. I really want to try this with him. I don't know. Let me see here. This one should have good enough light, and I think. Yeah, this one seems like it does. Just turn this way. think this one had it. Yeah. I mean, it's not entirely accurate. This is more of a tan, but I don't think we have the other one. Unless we do, and I'm just being stupid. I mean, it wouldn't be shocking. Oh, there it is. I think this one had the right color. I swear to God, if I have to go into the other fucking avatar... I'm gonna be really upset, because I promised myself I wouldn't go into that one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go into the other one. Okay. I am really sorry about this. I am not staying in it. This is closer to my skin tone. Specifically. And immediately out, so I don't start gradually reverting to a little mode. But that would be closer to my skin tone. With brown eyes, and I do wear a hoodie, black hoodie, but in baggy black pants that are mine are sweatpants, not jeans, but they are shredded, so they do have like cuts and tears and stuff in them. The hood, however, though, has a purple stripe and then a red stripe, and I wear I think it was in this one, since it was one of my older ones that I used to use. So I can turn this way just so you can see the boots better. I wear boots similar to that. They only come down a little lower on me than these. And the instead of the silver and black for like the strings and stuff like that, it's the strings are red and the loops are black instead of silver, so it blends in with the boots. I also have something like this. Not this. The black fingerless gloves. So, like, I don't have anything that really looks like me, other than, like, this, like I said, this is the closest I got. I also have scars on my cheeks that kind of look like cat scratches that are, like, going down on both sides. So, yeah, is as close as I can get. Because I don't have a proper body for me. I wanted to buy this, though, and eventually, and then edit it, so I can have something that looks like me. But I don't know how to use Blender yet, so, and we don't, like I've said before, we don't have the internet Wi-Fi adapter to attach to the computer anymore that works, because the cat knocked the box fan on top of it multiple times and killed it. Just like she did to the previous one. So the previous one, we attached the Wi-Fi adapter at the top, and she kept knocking the box fan in a way where it would hit that. However, this time we have it set in the back area. Closer to like the power area. And it would fall this way. It would fall this way and fall on top of it because it's much longer. It's not one of those tiny ones. It's like that long, and it had like rabbit ears that you could antennas you can position to get a better signal. So, and no, we can't do an Ethernet cord. We don't have one, and even if we did, the only plug for the internet that we have is in the other room. And I'm sorry, I'm fucking claustrophobic. I am not sitting in that tiny little room. And we don't even have a computer chair. The computer is sitting on one of those rolled, or at least the monitor is sitting on one of those white roller tables that people use for like hospital beds and stuff, or something similar to it anyway, so that we can move it over to us toward the bed, so we can lay down or sit up, and we don't have to worry about constantly sitting. We live in a small house as it is, so we try and make do with what room we have. We don't really have room to be doing that, but on top of that, even if we did, the body's back is not good, and sitting up like that for long periods of time will cause it to hurt a lot. So it's just easier for us to be able to sit up or lay down as needed, so it doesn't put all that extra strain on the back. But yeah, either way, what I'm gonna do is I am going to cancel out this video now, since I spent so much time explaining about this stuff, and just have this as a separate video to itself. And then I will restart it up and head it over to the Black Cat again, so I can continue with this torturous bullshit of advertising.